should be doing from that level.
It doesn't make sense. Sorry about that. So still confusion that. Sorry, maybe the trouble comes from my language trouble. So it's not easy to understand that. So I know the FSG level is on the FFL, finished ground level of 3.5 meters. But for site clearance, is the excavation above FSG level or under SSG level?
Okay, I don't know. I'll just explain you one more time. Can you stop sharing?
Sure.
Okay. Right. Once again, I'll go to the same whiteboard thing again. In your case, you have been given a FFL. So you know what is an FFL, finished floor level. So that means there is a slab over here.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Below the slab, you have got DPM going. Below DPM, you got sand. 25 mm of sand over there. And below sand, you have got your hard fill. Your FSG is 350 mm below your FFL.
Yeah.
So you need to go and check your details and see how much of excavation you need to do. If your strip footings are starting over here, then you need to excavate only this much. If your FSG is over here, then you need to excavate only this much in your element 2. So that is what you need to check. This should be clear to each of you by now because you have done it so many times.
Yeah.
Your site clearance and everything happens over here, which has already been done.
Okay. So not for this I mean about under FSG level, what's the name for the excavation?
Can anybody explain, Jing, please?
That is the strip footing excavation trenches.
Is there anybody who has got answers to that? Jing, I think you are still confused with different levels over there. You need to understand that.
Isn't that the site preparation and someone's commented that too?
Yeah. So site preparation basically
That's
is
the
happening.
GFA, Jing.
So site preparation is happening when you got original ground level. Then you do your site clearance. Or if there is a building already over there, you do the demolition first. Then you do the clearance if there is any vegetation or anything over there. So when you clear it 2 meters on each side, extra. So that's your site clearance. So once you've done your site clearance, then you strip the site 500 or 200 mm and you take the topsoil off, and that is called as your strip level. and then you go your bulk excavation and you bring yourself to reduce level. Now from there, you go back and you put in your hard fill, your sand blending, your DPM, and your slab to bring your finished floor level.
And that's all substructure, right?
Yeah. So this is going backwards. This has already been done in element 1. So this is going backwards. This is part of your element 2. And the remaining part of element 2 is when you do excavation for your pad footings, your strip footings, your piles, all those kind of things. So you have to do your excavation for these things, which is not part of your bulk excavation, because bulk excavations stops at reduced level. So this excavation is part of your element 2. I have explained this thing at least now.
You've done it so many times, AJ. I
So
think we
many
should
times.
move on. Thank you.
And when you're drawing this, but it goes back to the assignment template. I mean, in PSoft. So
Jing, that assignment template is you just have to follow what Ronnie has asked.
What
And
you
what you
have to
don't
do,
have
assignment
to,
template has got everything, right from
Yes.
element 1.01 to 1.09.
and don't
But what
delete
you need to
anything you're
measure.
not doing.
okay.
So that template has to be used for your next assignment, but you just go with what Ronnie has asked for this particular individual assignment. Some of the numbers you would not be using, like AJ has repeated a couple of times in each element.
Yeah, I know the requirement, but when I saw those items there, too much items there. It's
Yeah,
hard
that
for
too
me.
much item is what AJ said last week to me is, and it was on Sunday again, that what you don't have to use, you keep that number, but don't enter anything there because that particular item will be used for your next assignment. But you do what is required for this individual assignment, which is element 1 to, I think it's structural wall and roofing
Yeah,
and substructure.
yeah.
See,
Uh,
remember, Jing, that
yeah.
template is for everything which could happen on a site. You know, the demolition can happen on a site. So when we say template is a very generic format, which has got all the possibilities which can happen on a site when it comes to element 1, element 2, element 3, element 4, and so on and so forth. Now you need to see in your drawing and the instructions given to you that what are those specific things which I have to measure in element 1. So you measure only those things. You don't have to measure 1.01 to 1.09 everything, because it is given in the template. You have to measure whatever is being asked to measure from you guys. So you measure what is there for you to measure, put it in the right column over there, right number over there, do your measurement, and keep following the instructions. So in element 1, you probably have to measure only few items, maybe 1 or 2 items. I will not detail what you need to measure, but you don't have to measure all 9 items over there. Similarly, but you don't delete the items which you are not measuring, because then you'll be going your group assignment, and this thing would keep on going because you have got 28 elements or 30 elements to measure over there.
Okay.
So you do not delete anything which is not being used as of now.
Okay. And some items, the spacing is not enough for us just to copy. Sounds like a strip footing. We need separate.
By now you should be able to know how to insert the lines and everything.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, just as template, just remind us there's some need to measure strip footing, but just the one item for that. But we have several types
Yes,
of
then
footing.
how
So
to
just
insert and how to copy and paste.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
can tell you one thing over here. I use the same template. I stop sharing this thing. I'll share something with you.
Yeah.
I use the same template.
Yeah.
And look at my workbook over here.
Yeah.
So if I go to my workbook, how many piles I've got? 1, 2, but there is only one column for the pile, one number of the pile, but I've got so many. So how did I get so many over there? That means I have made some changes to this template. I have inserted more lines. See, I've got different strip footing, 2.03.1, 2.03.2. That is what you need to do. That is what I explained you guys last time as well. This is a very simple thing. This is something, if you understand Excel, you can do it.
Another question, for the Zoom meetings, the template example is slightly different. For example, column H or column I, that is unit column, but in our template, move to the column L, named unit.
So what difference it makes? You need to know where the unit has to go. You do just put it over there. See, you need to follow what has been given to you. Like in this example, I have done the same thing. So that is my measurement for that particular strip footing excavation. So it basically is 0.72. That is the unit cost of that from Rawlinson. So this into this gives me this figure. You can, if you don't want to use it under unit, you can use it over here. Just show in your clarification that column J has got the cost from Rawlinson's, the unit cost from Rawlinson, and leave it as 1 over here.
So in column I to M, for example, column I just use as the transfer the calculation result from the workbook, and use another column to select some reads from
This is Jingjing, this is something you need to discuss with your friends, how to use the columns and those kind of things. This is something I think it will, because if we start discussing this thing, we would be spending lots of time. This is not something I would be, discussing in tutorial, because there are lots of other students who want to know got different questions which are pertaining to, their confusion, how to read the drawings and all that thing. This is something Excel. You need to go and see your Google, your video, YouTube videos and all that kind of things to understand how to make use of Excel. If you are confused, check with your friends. I would, this is something which I would expect you guys to understand and, by yourself.
RJ, can I ask a
Yes.
question about the dewatering? We're here, we were allowed for the sum of the dewatering, but for the contingency that you just mentioned, so we also need to show in from the 1.09 for the, for the dewatering. Just we need to
dewatering is something which you do not know. It may happen, may not happen. It's basically.
So would you put that in the preambles, Ajay?
Yeah. What my question is, like, for example,
you don't use preambles in 6035. First thing. Second thing is.
Yes. Sorry.
Yep. Second thing is, like, dewatering is a situation which may happen or not. You just provide a provisional sum. So that's why the unit is sum over there. That it is given as sum.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you just assume a sum and put it over there, and that sum would be carried forward to this final, total over here. So whatever sum you put, you just put it over here.
So we don't need to maybe add 10% of the contingency or something like that. We just put one sum, just for
Yeah.
example.
So what Ronnie has asked you, like if he's given you how to put. So dewatering is something with contingency is different. Contingency is used in the time of your, when your excavations and, your process. Dewatering is a different thing, which is weather dependent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I think I misunderstand that day, after the sum, we need to add contingency. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So does it make sense now, to you guys? Like
Yes.
if you need to do, if you got 5 types of strip footing, you have to make sure that you have got 2.0, 3.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 for all the strip footings, and then from there you can go to your toe footings, which will be 2.0, 3.6, because the toe footings are also calculated as something similar to strip footing. And then when you go to 2.04, you got your pads. You got only one type of pad. You got those pads happening 6 times. You do it like that, right? So please make sure that you follow the units which are there. See, pads are measured in numbers. The elemental unit is number. So you need to make sure that you are following your elemental book or whatever the unit is given to you. Right? Please do that. Don't follow your SO like ANZ SMM over here. Follow your elemental book for your units.
Okay.
All right, let's go back and see what kind of questions we have got. Do not delete any columns because those columns can be used at a later stage. Okay, so like somebody has written, should delete column J and K. Those columns have got some purpose, which you probably is not using now, but you may be using it at a later stage. But all right, now for your element 1, if you are very much confused and you cannot do your calculations yourself, just follow what I've been instructed to you. You just do whatever particular sub-element needs to be measured in element 1. So dewatering is one thing which basically over there. So I'm not going any further than that. So you don't have to worry about all those measurements for bulk excavation and all that.
Hi, AJ.
Yes.
I have a question about excavation.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to refer the detailed drawing when we calculate the excavation for composite rate?
Okay, there are 2 things. If you were there on Wednesday session, we discussed how we can find the rate for strip footing. I think it was 1,510 or something per meter cube. Were you there in Wednesday session?
The section, I mean,
like when Rawlingson, we went into elemental rates, and I think Chandra showed it to everybody. She shared it.
I mean, in the real life, at the elemental cost plan stage, do we have the detail drawing about strip footing?
No, the detailed drawings only happen when you reach to the stage of SOQ. Elemental, remember, in the first, lecture only, you were told elemental costing happens during the phase of conceptual drawing, preliminary drawing, and developed drawing. As soon as you move into detailed drawing, it becomes a trade game, because now you got each and every trade can be measured separately over there. Elements are combination of different trade which serve the same purpose, which serve the same function for that building. All right. So your elemental drawings are up to developed drawing stage. In developed drawings, you can still have some foundation drawings, but you may not be having the reinforcing given to you what is there inside, how they are connected to each other. But there would be a foundation, drawing given to you that it's a 600 by 400 strip footing happening. There is a 800 by 400 toe footing happening somewhere. There could be a foundation beam happening somewhere. There are piles happening somewhere. So what is the depth of the pile and what is the dia of the pile? So all those things would be given to you in your developed drawings. Right? So you need to basically see if they have told you that there is a strip footing SF1 which is 600 by 300, for example, and they were in the developed drawings, you have got your measurements given to you, because how long that strip footing is going. You just have to measure in elemental unit, which is meter, and that measurement will include your excavation for that strip footing, your formwork for that strip footing, your site concrete for that strip footing, your backfilling for that strip footing, your concrete, whatever strength of concrete is there for that strip footing, and reinforcement. You need to see what is the generic rule for reinforcing over there. If it is 100 kg per meter cube, you have to measure accordingly over there, because you do not know what is the exact measurement of reinforcing over there. So you go with your Rawlinson or your historical data that in general, any strip footing which is 600 by 300 it has got a 25 MPa concrete in that. In general, it takes around 100 kg per meter cube of reinforcing over there. So that is how you calculate that thing with your historical data, which is from Rawlinson or your cubic house builder, or from the previous projects you have already done of similar types.
For this assignment, the method of measurement for the excavation is same as the groundwork.
Yeah, you have to still assume that there is a working space required, because that is how it is done.
Okay, thank you. But I think this assignment is at the early stage, but
when you see
groundwork.
early stage, remember early stage is conceptual. It is starting from your early stage going up to developed drawing, not detailed drawing, going up to developed drawing. So your elemental cost, when you did your first exercise, when you were given only one paper of the drawing, when you did your test, that was your conceptual to preliminary, when you were doing basically your exercises in the class. And it was given that it is a hospital which has to have 500 beds. That was the conceptual costing you were doing, because you found the cost of one bed over there. So 500 bed would cost me this much. So this is your conceptual elemental costing based on concept. Now, then you were given one page of drawing. That page of drawing was how the new building would look like, how big it will be, what kind of external works would be there, how many car parks would be there. So you just calculate the area of everything. Based on that area, you start measuring your cost. That was the test you did. That test was based on your preliminary design.
Yeah.
So you have moved from your conceptual, where you were counting the number of beds and doing your cost, to your preliminary design, where one sheet of paper was given to you and you calculated the cost based on that. Now, from there, you have been released 12 pages of architectural drawing and few pages of your structural drawing. Now you have been given a developed drawing. So now your measurement starts with the information given to you. So don't confuse yourself. Cost planning is all the way from conceptual drawing to developed drawing. Now you got more information. Based on that information, now you're doing your calculation. Is it getting clear to you?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I know it is not few pages of structural drawing because he did not, he gave you all the details over there as well, but you should not go and see the details over there. You should only look at the first few pages, which has got your elevations, which has got your roofing and your foundation plans and all that. When you get your details, over there, that it becomes a detailed drawing.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So if Ronnie has given you detailed drawing, so don't pick on that thing. Do we need to consider the reinforcing in precast panel? No, it comes because that's what you put in your detail. Reinforced 150 mm thick, reinforced PCP panel type P10. So you don't have to calculate for reinforcing over there. We're jumping between 6035 and 6034. So let's stick to one thing and
Sorry, RJ, this is for 6035.
Yeah, so 6035, all the elements, the reinforcing, like your strip footing, you're not calculating reinforcing separately. It is part of that thing. So
the detail rate I found for the precast panel,
yeah,
that rate including the reinforcement already.
everything, installation, delivery, everything would be included over there.
We still need to consider other like Jones grout, because I'm using the detail rate I'm trying to build up. Do I still need to?
Yeah, so everything, see, that is like what it takes to enact that PCP panel. That particular thing is all included in that element. So it could be your grouting, it could be your
Jones
strutting, your your reinforcing, whatever is there is all part of that thing, because that is the part of that element.
Okay, thank you.
When we do excavation volume for the calculation of composite rate of strip footing, do we need to include the height of toe footing as well? No. As I said, you do not know the detailed drawing as of now. So for you, strip footing is a separate member, toe footing is a separate member. So you do your excavation for toe footing as per you're doing it separately. To do your calculation like that. But in saying that, the other day, Chandra shared with you some information from Rawlinson where you don't have to make up the rates over there. You just convert them from the rates given to you. Chandra, can you share that page again? please, so that these guys can understand, they've got two ways to do it. One way is to building up the rates. The other is you can just convert it directly from the information given to you from Rawlinson. So you go to your not the detailed rates, Chandra. You go to your comparative costs over there. You go into your foundation for strip footing, which has got 25 MPa concrete, reinforcing, which is 100 kg per meter cube, formwork, and excavation. And you can see the rate for Auckland is 1510 or 1514, whichever you want to take. So that is a cubic meter rate. Now you have got, so that is a rate for 1 cubic meter. So I showed you by drawing that what exactly is 1 cubic meter. Then you find the volume for 1 meter length of your strip footing member. So if it is 600 by 300, so your volume for 1 meter would be 1 into 0.6 into 0.3, which will be 0.18 cubic meter. So you multiply 0.18 cubic meter and you'll get your rate for 600 by 300 strip footing, for 1 meter. So you multiply this by 0.18 and that is your rate. So you multiply it by 1510 and your rate for strip footing, which is 600 by 300 for 1 meter, would be $271.80. So you can do it, and that includes everything: your reinforcing, your concrete, your site concrete, your formwork, your excavation, everything. Right? So either you go this way or you build up the rate as Ronnie has shown you the other day, which is shown at the bottom over there, rate breakdown. You can see that is the same thing what Ronnie has done it for you. But this rate breakdown is in cubic meter. All right. So this is in one, per cubic meter. And the other rate per linear meter is also given to you, which is 300 by 300 deep, and that is 136. But I would suggest you to take this foundation rate over there on the top, which is 1510, and convert into your meter rate, as I told you, because 1 meter volume for your 600 by 300 would be 0.18. You multiply 1510 into 0.18, and you'll get 1 meter rate for 600 by 300 strip footing, which will be $271.80. And that's in linear meter rate. Is it clear? Because this will make your life very easy. You can calculate all your store footings, all your strip footings, everything with this one rate over there. Is it making sense to you guys?
Oh, AJ, can we also use cubic cost builder instead if we don't want to use Rawlinson?
Yeah. You can get because cubic cost builder will have your updated rate over there.
Yeah.
And so then if you are using Rawlinson, then you have to adjust it with the indices over there.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, it looks like, and Kiwi is straightforward.
Yep. So when you're using Kiwi, just remember when you're using Rawlinson, use Rawlinson for all the rates.
Yes, you can't jump. Yeah.
Because you cannot do it at the end that you are doing. You got half from QV and half from Rawlinson. Then it will
Yeah,
not.
it makes sense.
Yeah. All right, 4.01 is your structure walls, isn't it? So what is the question right now? I can't see the question. Can you explain element 7.04? Are we doing element 7 right now for this assignment?
I don't think so.
So let's not talk about it if we are not
That's
doing it.
exterior walls and exterior finish.
Yeah, those are different things.
Saying 4.01 is yeah, we just did
Exterior wall
4.01.
finishes can be your, facades and those kind of different things which go onto exterior walls. Maybe different, exterior wall precast can we include in 4.0? Yeah, so that those are your structural walls. Remember, 4.01 is your structural walls. Those a structural wall can perform the function of exterior wall as well. But 4.01 is all about structural walls. Right? So those structural walls can be your exterior walls, or maybe or may not be your exterior walls. So just remember the differentiation between the two. All right, what else we got? I had a very good question from, I think from Ying. Let me check my email. Yeah, from Ying Wang regarding PCB panel. So I'll just share that question with you guys. So she asked me a question over here. That she was confused with field welding item on ANZ SMM. First thing is that the field welding means something which is not happening on the shop floor or happening on site. So something which is happening on site is what is field welding. So when there is any field welding, it would be mentioned very clearly in your detail that it is an on-site welding or field welding. If it is not mentioned as field welding or on-site welding, you need to state it in your preambles that all welding would be assumed as a shop welding and would be included in the costs of your structural steel. So that is because it is in preamble. Anybody who is doing the tender for that particular job for structural steel will understand that the welding is the cost which has been included. It is, if it is not a field welding, it will be done on the shop floor where the structural steel is being manufactured or being prepared, and we need to include the cost in our tender. So you do not have to measure welding if it is not a field welding. You have to only measure welding when it is stated that it is on-site welding. Then you measure your welding in linear meters. So you've got two different units for measurement. Either you can measure in linear meters, which is easier to measure, or you can measure in numbers. But then in your item detail, you have to mention what is the size and what is the length of the, what is the type and what is the length of that particular welding. right? But in your case, in your drawings, you would not, I don't see any field welding over there, but you have to look for it, you know.